Hey there. Welcome to the Eurostep, a Milwaukee Bucks podcast, proudly a part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and GSPN, and presented by our pals at Prize Picks. I am Ty Windisch, one of your hosts, joined as always by the confused Rohan Katti. Very weird Bucks trade deadline. I was very disappointed in it. And then Giannis made a post and everything changed. He's still here, by the way. I guess we can open with that. We knew well before the deadline via Shams Charania, Giannis was not moving today. All the teams found out. We kind of started to know one by one. The Warriors made a pretty embarrassing Porzingis deal last night that pretty much put them out. Finally got rid of Kuminga. The Heat just sat on their hands. The Wolves got Ayo Dosunmu and kind of just realized, it wasn't happening for us either. So, but we found out, and then we really found out Giannis's thoughts. So we'll talk about the move the Bucks made. Really weird one. Giannis and more, but first, Rohan, as always, how's it going? Third pot of the week, baby.
Oh yeah, third pot of it's trade deadline week, baby. Of course we have to. It's obviously, it feels like a little bit of I said this on our last pod or two pods ago, I don't remember, but I was like, I can't wait until the trade deadline is done. Either way, trade Giannis or don't trade Giannis. I wanted something. I wanted this deadline to pass and for us to be on the other side of it. We're on the other side. There was no Giannis trade, which is awesome. That's great. Yeah. That's incredible. There was one Bucks trade.
Big one.
But overall, I mean, Giannis is the big story, right? He's the big story. And you couldn't ask for any, if you're a Bucks fan who just wants Giannis to stay, which is, I assume, still the majority and will forever be the majority. You, one, don't have him traded, and two, we get the social media posts of him. What was the caption? I'm trying to pull it up.
It was
legends don't chase, they attract.
Yep.
And then it's the video from The Wolf of Wall Street where it's just the I'm not
bleeping leaving. Yeah. And the whole clip too. It was, you know what? Because at first he doesn't just open with it. He's he's saying his goodbye speech. If you've never seen Wolf of Wall Street, he's saying the goodbye. He's going to step down from the company before they get, busted for some major security. We'll put that aside. It's a meme.
It's not a true one.
Yeah, it's not. He's not. Hopefully doing. Hopefully he's not doing that. But I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. The whole room goes crazy, and he even keeps in a bunch of swearing after that, and the crowd, which basically in this scenario is Bucks fans, flipping off the camera out of defiance, which pretty apt, I think, given the way Bucks fans have felt about the reporting around this whole scenario. Which again, do I think Giannis fed into all of this a bit? Yes, but.
My favorite part of the clip, by the way, is the end, because it's obviously you got it from somewhere on YouTube, and it's just at the end, it's just The Wolf of Wall Street, not on Blu-ray and digital.
I didn't even see that. That's awesome. That's sweet. Yeah, he literally must have just screen recorded it, which is awesome. I think on Instagram there's a picture of his kid with sunglasses after it too. Do you have it pulled up on Instagram or on Twitter?
No, I was on Twitter.
I was like, that's random as well. He ended up tweeting it later. It wasn't one of these where it dropped everywhere. It was on Instagram first, and then afterward he put it on Twitter as well. And I think, listen, this sounds silly, but this is a way clearer message than I expected to get from Giannis after the trade deadline, especially if you had told me Giannis, and that's let's be honest, he's committing. That's committing to the Bucks. That's not just, I didn't get moved this year. This is more than that. He could have said nothing, and we would have been great, he's here. They have a chance to impress him in the summer, whatever. This is more than that, no? This is a very defiant post, a very clear message between the video and the caption saying, I'm not leaving, I'm bringing people here. Right after last night, we saw Thanasis whisper in Trey Murphy's ear after he hit 12 threes against the Bucks.
Which, by the way, the Bucks won 2 games in a row.
Bucks, maybe that's what swung it.
Maybe
Giannis is a Pete Nance truther.
He might be. He might be. It does feel like commitment, and obviously, in an actual technical aspect, no, of course it's not actual commitment, but in sort of the social construct of how the NBA exists and lives, he can't literally sign an extension right now.
No.
He can't.
The Bucks literally, as we learned 1 or 2 of these cycles ago, they can't even say they're going to give it to him because technically it's tampering.
Yeah, the NBA is going to find out the Bucks thought about it and then just take away
impure
they
thoughts.
don't even have a second to take away.
They can have the Utah 30 through 55 second.
the non-existent.
Yeah,
pick.
they can have that one. Go ahead, Adam. Take that.
But this is as close as you can get, and maybe we're just prisoner of the moment. But
no, it's awesome.
Doing something like that.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
I don't care.
Enjoy
awesome.
the victory. This is the biggest victory of the Bucks season.
I got my Giannis jersey on. I never wear jerseys because I just don't think I look good in them. And that's true. Like this shirt, I didn't coordinate this. I just had the shirt on, and then I was like, I need to pop this jersey on too. Thank you. I think it's sweet. I think it's awesome. I was immediately fired up after. It totally flipped my mood on the deadline, frankly, because I thought they needed to do more. They did very little. But here's what I think happened. I want you to judge the reality of this take. So we got the great interviews. We have to give Eric Name a shout out because Giannis said, I did you dirty by giving Big Jim the only interview. I'm going to call you for apparently like our first ever phone call, Name said in the article. And I'm going to give you an exclusive too. Similar themes, but I thought the most important part of this one was in this article of The Athletic with Eric Name, Giannis interview. He pretty much said, if you could tell me, but we're going to be turning around and compete next year, so we don't have to save this year, right? Like if we can next year be back to winning basketball. He talked about like playing at a high level, like being consistent, all these things. I would be in, he said, what, like 100%, 1,000,000%? Like I would be all in. But he also had the same themes of like, I don't know, like, are we on the same page? Everything else, like what do the Bucks want to do? That was his question. It seems like the Bucks answered him. If I had to guess, they didn't with the deadline. I'm not saying like was something they did, but with the plan for what they're going to do, it sure seems like they must have said something to Giannis that makes him believe, yes, they're going to be able to build another winner here in Milwaukee. They're not just going to like use the pick and bottom out for a while or whatever else. Because why else would he change his mind? Unless he really likes Ousmane Dieng or Nigel Hayes-Davis, the 2 players the Bucks acquired at the deadline.
He's the biggest Ousmane Dieng fan in the entire world.
Yeah,
you think
he's number one.
That's his new running mate. He's ready.
Bogoljub Markovic, by the way, absolutely fallen to his knees. This is a brutal development for Bogey.
Yeah, it kind of is. It just, I think in terms of how that went, I think, yes, that's probably how it went. Did it happen today? No, probably not. My tinfoil hat conspiracy is that this happened a little bit ago and they've just been teasing other NBA teams to not let them do anything.
Well, we did hear that like at least the Warriors just like stopped hearing from the Bucks a couple days ago. So it is possible that this has been an ongoing. Because again, like the Bucks don't want to trade Giannis. That's obvious, right?
Yeah.
So
and obviously, like in the way that business is conducted, that's not going to happen day of, right? That's just not how it works in reality.
Yeah.
Like trades get announced on trade deadline day, but it's not like, there was no homework being done between those GMs and stuff prior. No, of course not. That's not how it works. It's basically, I think the Bucks did what we thought they were going to do. They presented the plan of, okay, let's say we bottom out this year, which we can talk about. There's conflicted things about whether Giannis is going to come back or not. But you convince them of the plan of, okay, we have 2 firsts and a swap to trade this summer. We'll also have this potentially very good pick to either trade or, have a young rising star next to you, Giannis. And we'll be able to retool this entire team, hopefully the coaching stuff, and just be able to reset. Yeah, it's a necessity. Just reset and rebuild around you this summer because we'll have flexibility to actually make trades. We don't really have that flexibility to make big trades right now, but we can this summer, and we'll have more IMO this summer. And you successfully convinced him of that. Yeah, essentially.
We get stuck on the draft history and the trade history and everything, which all does matter of John Horst. This is his greatest and most pertinent skill for this particular job. He is a Giannis whisperer. He's just always done this. Literally every time.
I think that's why he's still the Bucks.
That is why he got an extension. because clearly the organization feels like this guy is able to keep him around. He's good at two ways. He's really bad at player contract negotiations. Everyone has a player option. He's really bad at finding value. The Bucks took back a bigger salary and got no pick for it. The draft obviously has been horrible, which is going to be kind of a problem with this lottery pick or not. I mean, maybe it'll just be a trade. Some of the trades are fine, but like he never extracts value in trades. That is an issue. But crucially, he gets the big guy fired up about Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Absolutely. I mean, he was fired up about the Bucks, I should say. Giannis made it clear.
Yes.
He loves Milwaukee regardless. Yeah. But the Bucks part of it, like, okay. There's just no way Giannis makes a declaration like this. Forget a post. That's a declaration if he's not been sold, not just presented, but sold on some sort of vision that's going to have winning basketball back in Milwaukee next season.
Absolutely. And it's kind of also like Giannis has said and very, very publicly said, I'm never going to actually request a trade.
Yep.
So if he never requests a trade, him and his rogue agent can do whatever they want in terms of pushing. We know that like that's happened. That's reality. We're not going to pretend that it's not reality anymore. That's still that was reality. Like there was a chance still that Giannis was traded at this deadline. He wasn't. But it wasn't like an insignificant chance. Like that was a very significant chance. And basically, if you're not going to request a trade, Bucks aren't going to trade you.
Yeah.
Because the offers were just not great. And basically, that took away kind of the leverage that Giannis had. If Giannis is, and that's the extension, to be clear, which the Bucks can offer in October. Excuse me.
Yep.
And if he was traded this offseason, he would have to wait 6 months to be able to sign an extension with whatever team he's traded to. If you're Giannis and you are saying, okay, the Bucks have a chance to wow me this summer, and I have the ability only with the Bucks to sign an extension this October and lock in $275 million without potentially playing a game since January of 2026, or when January? You played in January. Right?
Yeah.
And then potentially not play a game from January and sign a $275 million extension in October locked in. Yeah, that's a pretty appealing option.
Yeah. Let's talk about the not playing a game thing, because I think that was the other side of the trade, which obviously we'll get to after this. That was the other big Bucks story and Giannis story. And this one, I'm finally with you, listeners, who think ESPN is irresponsible. I thought about saying a different word, irresponsible. Because I agree with you, Rohan. I don't think the trade stuff is fully manufactured. It's obviously pimped beyond belief to get clicks and everything else. But it's not fully manufactured. They completely manufactured a controversy about Giannis not sitting out through the end of the season. Because this was just Brian Windhorst with dueling reports from him saying, I think the Bucks want Giannis to sit down the stretch. And then Ramona Shelburne earlier said he doesn't want to do that. Eric Name said today, also a new report, like the same thing. He doesn't want to do that. Here's the problem. The guy who speaks for the Bucks, Doc Rivers, said this week, yeah, we're not going to sit him for the season. So where does this come from? Like, you just think they want to do that? They want to tank? Like, yeah, I'm sure they want to tank. Like, this seems totally made up to me. Like, this is and now seeing people like from Miami take it to this, like, this is going to be a huge controversy. They're going to sit this superstar player against his will. And Adam Silver, what are you doing? We're at the get mad at the league
portion of
Miami, of course. Trade. They've been here the whole time with Rozier. But yeah. First off, he does have a calf strain. He's probably going to be out for at least a couple more weeks with that. At least. Like, that's a real injury that he suffered.
It's been documented that he has been doing on-court warm-ups, but they're not nearly to the extent that he's used to doing because he just can't. He's injured.
He's got a soleus strain. So we're not talking about they just decide, we're not playing you now for no reason. He's got a calf strain he's returning from. I never found it that realistic that they would not play him in any games down the stretch. But does it make sense now that he's not qualified for 65 and they're likely not going to qualify for play-in, we'll see, to just be extremely careful with him on a minutes and games restriction? Yes. We know they can still lose if they do that. They're 9 games under 500, and he's played more than half of their games thus far this season. Like, I just don't see where...
They were 500 with him this year.
Yeah, but like that's not great. And he's probably
no. I'm saying that is in agreement with you.
And maybe he plays, half the games down the stretch, maybe less, and they've been horrible without him. And again, we'll have at least a few more weeks for the tank. I just think this is like the biggest non-issue ever. I don't see this as an issue. You really think the Milwaukee Bucks, who have kowtowed at every turn to Giannis, for better and for worse, this is going to be the line? 2% lottery odds, maybe? If he plays versus doesn't play, like really? That's the line? That's where they're going to say, no, Giannis, we're not going to appease you anymore.
It's ridiculous. And also, like, I think what Eric Name said was like for a hope to make a postseason push. If the Bucks are just clearly like not even in close, like Giannis could change his mind about that.
I expect he'll want to play some. I just think who cares? That's fine.
Yeah, let him play.
Yeah. That's not going to be an issue. Again, like we've talked about too, like there's probably not a world where they catch the tankiest tank teams. We'll have to maybe next week go over like some of the more league-wide moves. Maybe we'll talk about a few of the extra spicy ones today. But like they're not going to Memphis right now is even with them. It's going to be really hard to catch Memphis because they sold Jaren Jackson Jr. They obviously had traded Bane before the year. They couldn't find a Ja deal, but I'm not sure how much he'll play down the stretch. Like they are trying to lose. They're about tied with the Bucks. But they're in the West. They play harder teams every night. It wouldn't surprise me if they out-tanked the Bucks. The Jazz added talent. They're the team who got Jaren Jackson, but they still want their pick. That's going to be kind of a weird one. But a lot of the other bad teams like stayed awful. Most of the teams above the Bucks didn't get any worse, except maybe Chicago, who really bizarre deadline. But I guess they lost to Ayo. They lost to Ayo Dosunmu, so I guess they're worse. I mean, White Kevin for Sexton. What does that move? 32% sniper. Vooch. Yeah, I know that doesn't really. They got Nick Richards via the Bucks, kind of, so they might have gotten better at center. I'm so out on Vooch.
Yeah, I think Vooch is better than Nick Richards.
I guess,
but Nick Richards is their only actual center, I believe.
Don't they have Jalen Smith still, or did they move him? Or are we thinking of him as like a 4.5? Because I keep seeing Jalen
Smith as an NBA player, really.
I count Jalen Smith as a center. I'd rather have Jalen Smith on his contract than Vooch on his.
Bulls. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only 6'8".
Yeah, well. I'm just out on Vooch. I think it's hilarious the Celtics got him. I don't think they're going to like having him, personally.
Hey, even better.
Yeah. But anyway, I think the Bulls might be worse, but like the Hawks made mostly lateral moves. Like the other East teams, like I don't think they stand to lose a bunch of tank ground here.
No, I don't think so.
I'd be fine if they were good. That was
never really the case.
They could be good, too, if they want to be good. That's okay. I don't think they will. I don't trust them to. But 2 straight wins, 2 horrible teams. Another one in town, Indiana, who made the most interesting move of the deadline.
Yeah.
So maybe the Bucks will win 3 straight games, but when they start playing good teams again.
It might be better for the East if the Bucks lose that game.
Definitely better for the East if the Bucks lose that game. Which we'll get to.
Hey, I'm a Pacers fan from now on.
Go Pacers, baby. I mean, is it 5 or 6? 5. 5 they convey it?
5 they convey it. 5 through 9.
So we have to talk about this right now because we brought it up and I don't want to forget. The Pacers traded for Ivica Zubac, probably the most acclaimed player who will never, well, maybe he will make an all-star game now that he's in the East. I was going to say the most acclaimed player who will never be an all-star. Maybe now, probably not still. He's a good center. He's very good, but he's not really a star. He's on a good contract. They sent Mathurin, who everyone knew they would trade. Who was the second salary they sent?
Isaiah Jackson.
My guy Ijax. Yes, it was Isaiah Jackson. And 2 first-round picks plus a second-round pick. One of them is just a straight-up 2031 first? One or the other. 2028, I think. And then the other is a protected 2026 Pacers first, where the Pacers send their first-round pick to the Clippers if it lands between 5 and 9. And if it doesn't, then the Clippers get an unprotected either 28 or 31 first. So they get 2 firsts either way, but a ton of extra upside here for the Clips. They don't just get 2 future firsts. They get a crack at a top 10 pick, not top 5, but top 10 in this loaded class where all I hear about when I do research on this is like, wow, there's a ton of good guard prospects that could fall outside of that top 4 or 5. Fascinating. And as we've discussed, like, even if you're 1, you could lose that pick. Even if you're the worst team, theoretically, it's unlikely, but you could lose that pick.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so it's a 2029 first that's unprotected.
29, that's right.
And then if it's not conveyed, so basically if it's 1 through 4 or 10 through 30 this year, it'll be a 2031 unprotected first.
So right now, the Pacers are the 3rd worst team in the league. They have a 52.1% chance to pick in the top 4, which means basically a coin flip on if they get that pick or not.
That's pretty even, man.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it actually, there's no safer scenario because the number 1 team still only has a 52% chance at the top 4. If they fall to 4, it drops to 45%. So that's a big, I mean, it's a gap. But it's still basically a coin flip.
Yeah, go Pacers, baby.
Caitlin Cooper tweeted, who does an amazing job covering the Pacers, like, you know, the lottery is going to be like an absolute like must watch or whatever for Pacers. And Kevin Pritchard just goes something like, "Yep, popcorn emojis, psycho,
absolutely
psycho."
Insane. That's crazy.
By God, I mean, hey, credit to them.
I love it though.
Yeah, listen. Now they have, you know, they're going to be next year, right? Halliburton, Nembhard, Neesmith, Siakam, Zubats, great team.
Yeah.
And maybe a lottery pick, and maybe not.
Maybe not.
Whew, I mean, that's just like, you know, I get it. You want to go get good players. I mean, this is like the whole point of the season for them was like maybe we have Darren Peterson. And I just think it doesn't hit the same if maybe we have Ivica Zubats and -1 first-round pick. That's what we get for our tank season. Kind of a tougher sell, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Fortune favors the bold. We'll see what happens. Speaking of the bold, be bold today and hop on to Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform with millions of members. And remember, the big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right, where you can jump in on flex plays or power plays. And what I love about Prize Picks is the plays are funky. It's not always just passing yards or touchdowns. It could be, you know, the basketball sense, what we've been doing. How many points do you have in the first 3 minutes? I know they have for in football. Go ahead.
It's like for like longest like first rush or something like that.
Yeah,
first completion.
Longest completion for a player. So, you know, if you think is Stephon Diggs is on the patch, right? Like if you think Stephon Diggs is going to bust out a big one, you could go more than his longest completion. They have an easy one here for you. Drake May more than half a passing yard. So that's simple. You know, do you think Sam Darnold's going to fumble? That's probably in there. Probably a decent shot at that, to be honest with you. You know, is JSN going to have – sometimes they'll do too, like how many yards in your first X rushes or completions. That can be a fun one. Do you think a team's first game script is going to be productive? A bunch of stuff to have fun with at Prize Picks around the big game and a bunch of little games. So download the Prize Picks app today. Sign up for the first time using code Eurostep. The link is in our descriptions. And you can get $50 in plays when you play $5, whether you win or lose. That's promo code PrizeStep. Oh my God. Long day with the deadline. Promo code Eurostep on the Prize Picks app, and you can get $50 in plays whether you win or lose on your first $5 play. Prize Picks, unlike me doing this read, it's good to be right. Okay, so the Bucks made a trade. Oh, what do you got?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So it was first reported. Oh, you go for it.
Yeah, it was first reported as the Bucks are trading Amir, Coffey, and Cole Anthony to the Phoenix Suns for Nigel Hayes-Davis and Nick Richards, straight up. And then it got amended to the Bulls being included in the deal, where Nick Richards is being sent to Chicago and Ousmane Dieng is being sent to Milwaukee. So basically, net out for the Bucks is Amir, Coffey, and Cole Anthony. In for the Bucks is Nigel Hayes-Davis and Ousmane Dieng. And the Bulls get Nick Richards. So that's the deal. Yep. No trade or no picks.
No picks that I've seen anywhere. I've not seen definitively no picks, but I don't think there's picks because it's been a while now and no one's mentioned it.
Very strange trade for the Bucks. It makes sense from like a Suns perspective.
They duck the tax.
They duck the tax by getting minimum salaries, and the Bucks take on a little bit more salary. They're still under the tax. Like, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But they utilize that space that they had under the tax, which is around $12 million, to take on, some contracts and maybe take a chance on some people. The plan with that, though, is to acquire some assets to do that.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, hey, Phoenix, you want to duck the tax for free? We'll help you out here.
It's odd. It is odd.
It's very odd.
And Chicago, do you want to balance your roster? Because to your point, they had no centers. We'll give you Nick Richards for Ousmane Dieng, who also makes more than Richards. I think he's over $6 million this year. And again, to your point, it doesn't necessarily matter, right? It's just literally the Bucks owners paying a little more, but it doesn't impede them really from doing anything now, especially that we're post-deadline.
Ousmane Dieng makes a little more because he's still on his rookie contract where he was the 11th overall pick.
Yep.
And that's more than a minimum salary. And that's, like you were saying, around $6 million.
Yeah, and Richards is on more than min too, but it's $5 million. So my first thought was, okay, if you're not getting picks, are you going to need Nick Richards? But instead, they just end up conveying him. And I wonder too, I haven't looked at this. Maybe they could have done that deal and then basically, which I think this is technically illegal, so don't listen to Adam Silver, step laddered up, make the deal official, then send Richards for Dieng 1-for-1. Maybe it's just all one deal. I'm not sure. But that could help with salary matching potentially. I don't know if they could take back Dieng and Hayes for 2 minimums. That starts to be kind of a lot. So maybe that's some of the thought process here. What they actually could have done too is you could take Richards for 2 minimums and then take back Hayes into a cap exception, a minimum exception. It probably doesn't matter. What matters is they didn't get paid to do this from what we can tell. They just get the luxury of getting these 2 players. So that's disappointing. I don't think the Bucks really use their ability to eat contracts well. But I guess we'll see what, if anything, they get out of these 2 guys. So let's start with Nigel Hayes-Davis, the one who actually, despite being the worst player at the moment, I think the one who fans are going to be a lot more familiar with, of course, Wisconsin product. It's Nigel Hayes, formerly
Wisconsin
known as,
legend,
who won an MVP in Europe this past summer. And we were actually, I think, would have liked to sign him, and we're a little bummed the Suns got him. Now, he has done basically nothing there. He has not played much. His total season stats are terrible. I will say, the only game he played more than 14 minutes, he played 21. He had 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting and 3 steals and 2 rebounds against the Clippers. But this was way back in October. So his numbers are bad, but also he just really has not played. He struggled in short minutes, but he hasn't played at all. He is actually a forward. And the Bucks don't have many of those, especially post Amir Coffey, Bucks entrenched starter going out in the deal. So maybe they'll just cut him to sign Nance.
Do you think these games increased his trade value? Actually, no, they wouldn't, because they would have gotten picks.
Yeah, clearly didn't have much trade value. So Hayes looks bad, but I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever actually see him, to be honest. He might just get waived.
Yeah, he might, because with this, the Bucks have not created any roster spots.
No,
and you need to convert Pete Nance.
But you don't anytime soon.
You don't, but you need to at some point.
Right. But I guess
we say need to. Like that's a necessity.
I agree.
I think that's priority number 1 for the rest of the season.
But I think you get 50 games. He's only played 19. So that's not the rest of the season. They still have actually, is that the rest of the season?
They have 20 games left.
Yeah.
32 games left.
I think he has 31 games then. So maybe they have right until the end. I think you can at least
but I mean,
get a look at him.
The reason you would want to do that is because you would want to sign him to a team-friendly, like kind of like the AJ Green type of deal, where it's like you get a minimum for a few years.
The one they couldn't do with Rollins.
Correct.
Which maybe they didn't do it because of the Turner thing? No, they couldn't have known that. I don't know why they didn't do it with Rollins.
I think they would have known that he was going to get more value. I think that was from Ryan Rollins.
Yeah, that's probably from Rollins. But yeah, I think they should. But I think because there's no rush, they're not up against the deadline. It doesn't have to be Hayes that you cut. Like if he can play, you still do have like Ajax or some other players around. Now I think Ajax has looked pretty solid lately. I'd be a little surprised if Hayes looked better with the numbers he's put up in Phoenix, but I think we'll see. I think he'll have a shot to play at the very least, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's pretty low impact if they do just cut him. I'm not a huge believer in him, and clearly I don't think he's definitely not going to be better than Nance, so that should still be a priority to get him on a multi-year deal. I agree.
Yeah. What do you think about Dieng?
I'm interested in Dieng. So this is despite he's halfway through year 4, he's 22 years old, 6'9" forward, has just barely played.
Because the Thunder have been good. That's why. He's
pretty much been the 15th man like the whole time. Even year 1, he only played 39 games and less than 15 minutes per game. So all of his numbers stink, which, I mean, again, you just can't really judge that based on the short minutes he's played. I will say, you'll laugh at this if you haven't seen it. He has had one of his career best games, I think his career high, against the Bucks. I don't know if you remember this game. Last year, he played 31 minutes against Milwaukee, had 21 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, and a steal, plus 4 turnovers. 3 of 5 from
John Horst special, baby.
Yeah, 9 of 13 from the field. I asked Taylor Peterson, who does great work covering the Thunder on the Uncontested, about him, and it sounds like he's not a very physical driver. He's not very assertive, but he's like moves well and can shoot a bit. So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's another big to really. I don't know.
I don't know. Could he be more of a 3-4 than a 4-5? I guess that's the question with him. That I'm not sure. We're gonna have to see it, but I think they'll probably give him shots to kind of play wing because that's what they need the most.
Absolutely. The Bucks were starting Amir Coffey.
I wouldn't hate if they started
Harris going down with an injury.
Start Dieng on Friday. I want to see him now. This was your guy you got at the deadline. Might as well give him a chance.
Yeah, I guess it's like, the Bucks get a chance on a young player, like see if they can take kind of a reclamation project. It just sucks that they didn't get any pick capital.
Yeah, even just one. I mean, Phoenix is not flush with them, but the Bulls did have some coming in. It would have been nice to get
the Bulls
something.
Have every second round pick in the league.
I know, but I also do get it. Like, they helped out Phoenix. Chicago, I guess, probably just didn't care.
Chicago was like, yeah, we need a big.
Yeah, like we'll take a big and we'll give you the prospect.
And save them money.
Save them a little money.
Both the Bulls and Suns save money.
They did. It only really matters for Phoenix, though.
Yes.
The Bulls aren't, dodging tax or whatever. But yeah. So overall, like not the value on the margins we wanted and we advocated for. But an interesting flyer. And I will say, like, at least it spices up the rest of the year a little bit if it's going to be this like tanking gap year of let's see what Ousmane Dieng can do.
Yeah, why not? And potentially maybe some other players on the way, because there were some reports that the Bucks were looking to make some trades with the Brooklyn Nets for Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
And Cam Thomas got cut.
Just waived him. Brutal. Nobody would take him for free is almost what that means to me.
Yeah, Brooklyn was like, we'd rather just cut him than have to pay to dump him.
Which makes sense, because they also are. Yeah. And they've been taking in players, like they probably needed a roster spot for one of their other salary dumps too.
Yeah, so potentially Cam Thomas as an option, tank commander. Cam Thomas maybe on the way, but we'll see.
This is, do you know who went right before and went right after Ousmane Dieng in that draft?
So it was 22?
Yeah. 22,
so the 10th and 12th pick?
Yeah.
22. Oh boy.
One of them plays.
Won that year? What was that?
Paolo.
What draft was that? Paolo draft. Oh, I have no idea then.
So, Herd guard Johnny Davis went 10.
Oh yeah.
And Oklahoma City forward Jalen Williams went number 12.
Oh boy, yeah, they had back-to-back. That's what it was.
So this draft, they got Chet, J-Dub, and Dieng. This guy ushered in winning basketball in Oklahoma City, and now he's
absolutely.
A Buck. This was the Marjan draft, by the way, and the Ty Washington Jr. A lot of these guys are coming through Milwaukee now. Ty Washington Jr.
Ty looks good in Phoenix.
Yeah, he does.
So does Jamar Bouye.
Ryan Rollins, 44 overall this year.
There we go.
This is a special draft. This is a special draft. Anyway.
But yeah, that being the only trade the Bucks made is a little.
Hugo Besson. Sorry. Hugo Besson also in this draft.
That's a fake.
Draft right legends. You don't remember Hugo Besson?
No, I remember.
I was really disappointed for a second. Okay.
No, of course I remember.
Yeah, gotta remember Hugo.
They had me checking in on French basketball.
It was not good. It was bad. He was just a chucker. Best of luck to you,
The
Hugo.
team he was on doesn't exist anymore.
No, it was Wemby's team, wasn't it? It was like a Wemby pump and dump.
Is gone.
Yeah.
So, no, I remember Hugo Besson. But yeah, just kind of a disappointing deadline in the aggregate. Obviously, the Giannis stuff is great.
Yeah.
But in terms of actual moves, not great.
No, you didn't really set yourself up for next year unless they actually do strike gold and get something out of Dieng. Now, that he's not under contract, but he is a restricted free agent. So if you do have any sort of encouraging signs, you can go over the cap to keep him. Like, someone can't just steal him away. You can renounce him. Like, if you don't want his cap hold out there, you can do that. But, if he is like, suddenly you're like, oh my God, this guy could actually be like a helpful forward to pair with Nance off the bench going forward, you could keep him. So that's something.
Yeah, it is something. But again, not what we were really hoping for.
No, not fungible either. Like, we wanted more currency to make moves happen. They did not get that. Unless, again, there's some report down the line that they got a pick, but everything indicates they did not.
Yep. Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey. I feel like we don't care.
Yeah, Anthony, I mean, what a fall from grace. We were excited when they signed him. He had that amazing Raptors game where he kind of single-handedly helped them steal a win in like the first week of the season. And it just felt like everything after that was awful.
Yeah, it was before the season we were like, we need 2 of these guys to hit out of the 3-point guards. 2 of them hit.
Yeah. 2 of them.
And the third one became expendable.
2
now,
of
if
them
Kevin
hit.
Porter Jr. continues to have some injury troubles, it might get a little concerning for the Bucks.
Mark Sears, come on back down. I think so.
Can you imagine this just ends with Mark getting the 2-way back?
They kept your spot warm. We saved $20,000 by doing this. You're welcome, Mark.
Just insane.
Absolutely
insane.
We can go get a Nissan Murano now with the money we saved by cutting you. We're really going to upgrade our employee fleet. Thanks, Mark.
You could have bought a Nissan Murano, Mark.
Yeah.
But no,
you're not getting a Nissan Murano now, buddy. You better learn to speak used car.
Potentially look for that 2-way to be filled by a point guard. Or if they maybe take a chance on some players who are waived post deadline, and just see what happens with Nigel Hayes-Davis, Andre Jackson Jr., Jericho Sims.
I was going to say more expendable, but then less expendable with the Richards thing. So what an up and down day it must have been for Jericho.
Dieng is big.
Yeah, I don't think he's a center, though. I think Jericho's probably
no Bob around. Trade.
Yeah, disappointing there.
No, yeah.
It sounds like they were in on Ja, and it sounds like them and probably Miami, too, was kind of just like, give us a first to take Ja, and Memphis was like, we're not going to do that, and they said, okay. That's not been confirmed reported, but basically the idea was like teams, including Milwaukee, were talking about Ja, and it just didn't get done. Memphis didn't feel like they got any value, which... Good. That's what I want to hear the Bucks try to do is we will take Ja Morant for free. Or even better, you'll pay us. I get why Memphis wouldn't do that, but that's the right approach to take with Ja.
Yeah, absolutely. That should be the approach that you take. It was a decently eventful trade deadline, but we already talked about that Pacers deal. What were some other deals that caught your eye?
Much earlier, the Harden Garland one, I'm still shook about. The whole Central Division, and then the Pacers were. The Pistons one, sending Ivy to get Herter really underwhelmed me.
Yeah,
I didn't like them. The Bulls just finally doing something definitive, which is we're just going to get all the picks we can and sell everybody. I thought that was smart because they obviously stink. And they got 4 seconds for Io and Dillingham, which is an interesting flyer. I thought that was a nice deal.
They picked up 9 second-round picks, I believe.
Yeah. And I saw a bunch of people giving them all this crap for not getting a first, but who do you think
can do stuff with seconds? Look at the Bucks. We're begging the Bucks to get a
love a second pick. What do you expect them to get for some of these guys too? Can't believe they didn't get a first round pick for Dalen Terry. They suck. They have bad players. IO was good. They got 4 seconds. That's a lot. That's significant capital and a rookie scale guy in Dillingham. So I thought they were smart. They did a pretty good job. And now it's a great draft. So being bad is good for them. But overall, I didn't love what Charlotte did either.
What did Charlotte do?
They paid a couple seconds to turn Sexton into Kobe White.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of just Sexton there.
Yeah.
Especially with White hitting free agent. That was the other thing with the Bulls guards. White and Dosunmu both hitting free agency. So you're not getting like long-term deals.
They also got Xavier Tillman, the Hornets did.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he plays anymore.
No, really.
Actually, we should, before I want to hear your thoughts on the deadline overall quickly. But the buyout guys. So it's Cam Thomas was one. Also Haywood Highsmith, whose agent got out there to, I think, Scotto. He was like returning to play like next week. So he's a guy we've circled before as a real wing player. Obviously the Bucks are bad and should be tanking, but I'd be into it if they did like a 1-and-1 non-guaranteed deal. If they could get Highsmith in the fold, like I think he is good.
Option.
Yeah, that's
Team
what I mean. That's what I mean.
One-on-one.
That's what they need to do.
John Horst.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be like we're gonna.
John
we
Horst
signed
needs
him
1+1. He's like player option.
We did a double player option.
I think it's funny that the Bucks traded their only mins that didn't have player options.
That's the thing. They gave up some vat. Like that was their best chance to dump anyone. So I wasn't surprised they didn't do much after that.
Yeah, I think Highsmith is an intriguing option if you can get him on a team friendly deal, and it has to be a team option minimum.
Yeah,
if you can do that, that'd be cool.
Team Cam option Thomas, or non-guaranteed, either way is fine.
Yeah, same thing essentially.
Yeah,
and Cam Thomas, sure, why not?
Who would you rather have?
Highsmith.
Yeah. I mean, Thomas is a great tank commander, but I don't think you're getting him on a
KPJ and Rollins.
Right. I don't think you're getting Thomas on the 2-year minimum. I assume he would just sign rest of season and chuck away, try to get another deal. So I like the value swing of Highsmith, and they're in this gap year. It's kind of a good scenario for them to just be like, let's just get you healthy. We're going to give you some minutes. We don't care if you suck at first. That's actually totally fine if you do. But we want to get you comfortable and ready for next year. Like that would actually be a really smart play. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to a playoff team, but if I'm the Bucks, I would make that my pitch of we're clearly gap yearing. Giannis is fired up. Come here, get healthy, no pressure. And then next year you'll be fully back and you'll be playing with Giannis.
Yeah, that could be a pitch.
Any other deadline? Anything stand out to you from the deadline moves this week?
I mean, it's the Wizards.
Oh yeah. We have to. Oh my god.
It's the Wizards. They traded for Anthony Davis.
And listen, they gave up fake-ish first-round picks, but still they're going to be first-round picks.
Thunder pick this year.
So 30.
Warriors 2030 pick that's top 20 protected.
Yeah.
A Suns second this year, which is going to be a mid pick.
Solid.
A Bulls second next year, which is going to be pretty good.
Pretty good.
And then a Rockets second in 29, which I have no idea.
Who knows? Yeah, it's a flyer.
And that's what the Mavs get.
What salaries did they send again?
Khris Middleton.
Oh yeah,
A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, and Marvin Bagley III for Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum. What a deal!
You know what?
I'm staring at this, trying to think of what I feel about it, and I can't think of it.
I didn't like it for the Wiz at all. I know it's not a lot.
You're just accelerating your timeline massively. You're basically doing what the Pelicans did with Anthony Davis that didn't work. Except now the player you're adding is Anthony Davis?
And old.
It's just crazy.
I'm just good on the guys who just never play games. I heard before the Pacers got Zubats, they tried to give 2 firsts to the Jazz for Walker Kessler. He never plays. Why do you want to target a player who's that young and never plays? How often do these guys turn it around? I don't think it's that common, especially a big guy with some of the stuff Kessler's had. But with Davis, I see the idea. They're you know what? It's pretty cheap. He's not playing right now. Probably won't play at all this year for us. We shut down Trey, which way shadier than the Bucks Giannis thing, by the way. Way shadier. Because he was playing. He just stopped playing. But we can have these guys. We shut them down. We really suck. We have our lottery pick. And then next year, it's our young guys plus Trey and AD, and we're a real team. And I think that's a fine idea. But we just know the deal with AD at this point.
Yeah. Him and it's just, he played 30 games for the Mavs? Less?
He's got, I think, less. Yeah. He played less games there than Rondo did.
Which is just, I saw that and I was like, that's just incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And
I felt like Rondo was there for 2 games.
It felt like it. I mean, he was unhappier there even than Davis was, I think.
That's one of the funniest NBA stories. Bucks legend, Rajon Rondo.
Bucks current legend, Rajon Rondo.
Yeah.
And so AD is on 54 this year, 58 next year, 62 player option the year after that. And Rich Paul is
opting in.
And Rich Paul, they might not, because Rich Paul is publicly agitating for an extension, as is Trae Young's agent. And it's like, you don't have to extend these guys, but as we just saw with the Clippers, it gets a little awkward if you don't extend your vets. So I just think they put themselves in not a horrible spot, but a weird spot. And it's going to, this front office now has to kind of manage this, threading the needle of the really young guys and these 2 pricey vets. And, if you get these contracts wrong, it's really going to set back what you can do as you try and rebuild.
Yeah. And I mean, this all, it all seems for naught if, it's Darren Peterson in there with Trae Young and AD. And it's like, oh, you're helping him develop by winning. And it's it's I understand it from that perspective. It's just weird. You know what? I'm going to give credit to the Wizards. Just take a swing. Just do something.
Yeah, they did.
You know what?
They did something.
Go for it.
The anti-Heat, who did literally nothing.
Again.
Yeah. I think the only other teams who didn't trade were the Spurs and Rockets, who more understandable.
Yeah. My other weird trade is Jared McCain getting to go to the Thunder because Paul George got suspended.
Yeah. Well, and because I think Shea and every other Thunder are hurt. That is a big factor too.
Yeah. But from Philly's perspective, Paul George gets suspended, which is just really funny, by the way. Yeah. I don't think we talked about that. Really funny.
Mental health drugs, baby.
Yep. And because of that, they get tax savings because his salary doesn't count for the games that he's suspended, which let them be a Jared McCain away from ducking the tax.
Which then I was like, and they had to dump Gordon too, or at least they did. Maybe they didn't have to for a roster spot, maybe. And now I'm thinking could you just drug an expensive player if you were close to the tax line? I mean, there's got to be front offices that are thinking this, right? Save a couple mil here. If you're in the second apron, what was the Paul George number? It was $7 million or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Whatever it was, but if you're in the second apron, the repeater, it's 5 times that. So we're talking about $30 million if someone takes the wrong pill. I mean, could get ugly. That's all I'm saying.
That's crazy.
Not saying that's what happened here. I'm not saying I would do that. I'm just saying everyone should be very careful, NBA stars, with what substances you could consume, which is good general advice anyway. Wild one there. I don't really know how I feel about that trade, but I thought it was just crazy to see that go down. McCain's really struggled with injuries and performance after his promising start.
He has not been good this year.
He's been really bad. And the Thunder kind of need him now with Shea out for a couple weeks, and they had 8 guys active for their game the other day. So we'll see how he does there.
Yeah. What was I about to say? It was Utah, the first time it was the first time that Sam Presti had given up a net pick to get a player in 12 years or something.
Wow. That's nuts. I mean, they certainly have enough to trade, so they're not going to miss it much, but
they've gotten asset, they've given up picks to get picks and stuff back, but not for a player.
Right. Yeah, it'll be fun to watch him play there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really it wasn't as many of the huge deals. The Warriors, to me, is probably the funniest team and how embarrassing it was because they had Windhorst and everyone saying they got the best offer. And what did they end up doing with the centerpiece of their great offer? Sending Kuminga and Buddy Hield to Atlanta for Kristaps Porzingis, which to me
straight up
is probably the most depressing trade you could make. And I've seen people say, oh, this is going to open up salary for them. It doesn't. Hield is mostly non-guaranteed that next year, and Kuminga had a player option.
A team option.
A team option, excuse me. Yeah. So they just moved stuff around.
It was expiring for expiring, essentially.
Porzingis does not play games. He's got POTS. I think that's confirmed now, right? So
yes.
17 games this year. It's just like you look at the games played year over year, it just goes down and down and down. Obviously not happy about that for him. That sucks, but everyone knows that. I just don't know how that's the guy you go and get.
It's insane.
When you already have Draymond and Al Horford, and they just kept both of those guys. So, like, what's your team now?
It's Steph, Pods.
The graphic.
Yeah, that graphic is incredible. I forget who tweeted it out. But
It's
it was
ESPN. Like, they're like Warriors' new lineup.
It's
Steph.
Fire emoji.
Fire emoji.
The fire emoji.
Steph, Pods, Draymond, Horford, Porzingis.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really funny.
I mean, yikes.
Steph's going to request a trade.
I mean, Steph might just go like, I have some things to invest in, which I'll let folks do their own research on that. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's the funniest from a Bucks perspective, because it's like, really, that's the centerpiece of Giannis offer. I mean, obviously the 4 unprotected first is also
with the real. But in terms of the players, that and Draymond, who like that's the other funniest part, is they went on this whole like sob story, like Draymond's got to go. Draymond publicly like, I get they have to trade me, I get it, Dub Nation, and they just don't because nobody wanted him.
No, why would they?
They did this whole thing over a course of a week, like, we won't include Draymond. Okay, we'll include Draymond. Nobody's asking. You're talking to yourselves. Yeah. Nobody is out here like, better throw in Draymond. Nobody wants him.
It's really funny. They were like, no, we can't do Butler. It has to be Dre. And Dre's like,
we don't want either.
You know what? I get it. And then there were people were saying like, yeah, Draymond could he'll be a free agent, then just could re-sign with the Warriors.
Yeah, like, nobody else would want to sign him, so he probably would. They keep acting like they have all these like diamonds on their team. Nobody cares about these guys.
No one cares.
Earlier, there's like, I don't know if we can include Pods for Giannis. We don't want Pods.
Pods is bad.
Pods stinks. Like, wow, you could include a guy worse than Kevin Porter Jr. That's no thank you.
Yeah.
Moody, so the 45th best wing player in the league. They're the funniest team. They're a caricature of themselves.
Yeah, it's incredible. They think they're they think they're the Spurs of the early 2000s.
It's over.
Yeah. And it's like, from a Bucks perspective, yeah, like, sure, it might be over for us, but it's over for you.
It's way more over for them.
It's so much more over for you.
Steph is 38.
Yeah. The Heat not doing anything is really funny.
Yep.
Any other deals that catch your eye?
The Jazz getting Jaren Jackson is shocking to me. We'll see how it does for their tank. I am just like, I thought it was a fine trade for both sides. For Memphis, I'm kind of like, I guess you're just full tanking again. They put out the thing like, our core is Coward and Zach Edey. I was like, all right, you're going to be tanking for a while then. But like the Jazz, I'm kind of like, yeah, the Jazz, I am like, okay, so next year, like a lottery pick probably, plus Darren Peterson, Ace Bailey, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler. I'm like, all right, that's kind of gas. Like I like that they at least have a direction now. They've been bad for long enough.
Yeah, they're trying.
That should be a playoff team, I would think.
Yeah, it's like I'll give the credit like the Wizards. Like, you know what? They're trying.
Yeah, the Jazz one is way better.
Yeah.
I like the Jazz team a lot better. Keontae has been good this year.
Yeah. Dallas just clean and slate from Nico.
Yeah, they had to. I mean, it's, fresh start, get some stuff, whatever.
Yeah. Maybe Khris is buyout.
Yeah. Would you rather sign Khris or Haywood Highsmith?
Don't make me say it.
I mean, it's Khris for vibes, Haywood for actual value year over year.
Yeah, so it's Haywood Highsmith.
So if Khris wants to go sign and ring chase for a year and then come back, totally fine.
Oh yeah, like this year, if you go and ring chase, go sign with the Thunder.
No spot. Trying to think of the best.
They would need a Khris.
I don't know if any of the really good teams are actually going to have a spot.
I mean, the Bulls. The Knicks might
but I think they're going to convert
Dalen Terry.
Oh, are they? I don't know. I didn't know if they could afford that. I thought they were going to convert someone with one of their. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
We'll see.
But, I mean, I don't think he has the heart in him to go to Boston.
That would be something.
Yeah.
I mean, if the playing in Boston thing works for him as a Celtic, he would be a serious weapon.
Yeah. Some other buyout guys that I forgot. Lonzo. No.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just go to Charlotte. Do your fun little thing. Yeah, they can't. They can't sign him. That's a tough one. So Pat Connaughton, you're right, did get... Wasn't even... They were just kind of like, yeah, we're done having Pat Connaughton in our team. He didn't get traded. The Hornets were just like, you're gone. You're going to need a spot for one of their other deals. But yeah, he can't. So Pat, feel free to guilt-free ring chase as well. But might just be signing with Zillow. To be honest with you. We'll see. might be on Redfin.
Permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Him and Peter Fagan. Him and Peter Fagan are going to team
Dream
up for something.
team.
They're both recently available.
Oh man, Pat asked out. Pat said, "Cut me. I got a new team to join."
My boy Pete's got something cooking. 4 leaves.
We added a leaf.
Now we're just an actual flower, an actual plant. Oh man, it's fun. Good vibes.
Yeah.
Giannis is here.
The Giannis thing totally, I was going to be grumpy on here. I'm not going to lie. The Giannis thing totally brightened my mood. So thanks, Giannis.
Yeah. Thank you, Giannis. And let's try to keep the good vibes going.
Yeah. So still the tank is on. What if they win the next 3 games and then they really look like they're going to threaten for the play-in again? Would you be mad or would you buy in?
It's a tough question.
I would know it's wrong, but I'd probably buy in.
I'd probably buy in too.
I don't think they will.
If it's better for Giannis, it's better for Giannis. Like they're currently 3 games out of the play-in. The Bulls got worse.
Yeah, the Hornets are hot.
Hornets are hot, so that spot makes sense. So it's like maybe if Atlanta gets worse.
Yeah, which they didn't really like take a jump forward by any means.
In fact, but I mean, you're getting guys who can play.
Yeah. Kuminga. Yeah, get rid of Porzingis. That's true.
Who is currently hurt, but
it may be fake hurt.
Yeah, maybe.
And they just they've had
out as long as they should.
Half of the league's shooters have passed through Atlanta this week. Kennard, Kispert, Vitt, Buddy Hield, they're just anyone who's ever heard her should have taken another swing. He used to be there too. The next 3 games, by the way,
Luke when you need
Svi, get Svi in there. Home Pacers, tank off Friday night, and then Monday, Wednesday, Orlando, both in Orlando, and it's a road trip. So it's Orlando, then in OKC, then at Pels, another must win, February 20th, right after the All-Star break. So into the All-Star break, Pacers and then road, Magic Thunder. That Thunder's game is going to be a nightmare. Second of a back-to-back. Last of the first half of the season. Although the Thunder are pretty beat up right now. Shea will not play in that game. If they win all 4, I'm going to be all the way back in.
Could you imagine if by the All-Star break they're back in the play-in?
I mean, they probably would be if they do that, right?
Yeah. But here's the thing, Ty. We're counting on the Bucks to win basketball games, which is very difficult. But
we wanted them to lose, and now they're going to win. So maybe we just have to root tank, Absolutely. And they'll go undefeated down the stretch.
they never do. They never do what we want.
Never. They're 2 in the loss column, back from 9. And Orlando is in 8th. If they beat Orlando twice, they would only be 3 games back from Orlando too. It's actually still right there. That's the worst part. They did all this losing. The East is so bad. It's still right there.
Because the distance between 12 and 13, between the Bucks and the Nets, is the same distance between the Bucks and
the Raptors in 6th. Yeah.
So it's just kind of difficult to really tank.
Yeah, to tank it further.
Or get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. And if Giannis plays, that just increases the Bucks' chance of winning games.
Yeah.
Maybe they do make the play-in.
They might.
It'd be the funniest possible thing if they, scrap all their way to the play-in and then lose the first game.
Well, I was going to say, even if you can get to the play-in and still have a lottery pick. Like the Mavericks got Cooper Flagg out of losing a play-in game, so I don't think they probably would, but we'll see. It would be probably Miami or Orlando.
The pick based on the results of the play-in.
Yeah. So if you lose in the play-in, you're still a lottery team.
Yeah, but if you win the play-in, your pick will now reflect you being the 7 or 8 seed.
Correct. I'm pretty positive. Yeah.
Correct.
Maybe it's just record, but among all the playoff teams. So I think they would just slot you in. So you'd probably pick the best out of all the playoff. You probably have 15.
We've never had to think about this before.
I know. Yeah, now
so
we
that's
do.
why we're not super familiar.
I mean, you have like 15 through like 18 at worst, which is a lot worse than 7 or wherever they are right now, 8 or 9.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Yeah. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves with them. Let's cross that bridge if we come to it.
Yeah, the Giannis doing what Giannis does is just brought good vibes, and it's like maybe winning is possible.
Yeah,
it's probably,
we're
gonna get shattered immediately.
Yeah.
But trade deadline is passed. Everything is done for now. We'll see what happens in the offseason. The offseason is months away. Yeah. So at least there's a break. At least there's some clarity. And Giannis Antetokounmpo remains a Milwaukee Buck. And in his words, he ain't effing leaving.
Let's go.
So we'll say thank you for listening to this episode of the Eurostep here on Blue Wire and GSPN, presented by our great friends over at Prize Picks. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you're listening to or watching this podcast, your podcast platform of choice, or on YouTube. 5-star rating and review, like and comment on YouTube. Pod random. Go Bucks. We'll talk to you next time.